So I know there's been a lot of eyeballs on what's happening down in New Zealand in recent times, bubbling away in the Legend Story labs. And I'm happy to share with you that we're going to be experimenting with a whole bunch of different stuff down in the lab. And the stuff that comes out good, the stuff that people like, the stuff that's impactful, we're going to roll it out globally, all around the world. But one thing that has been really, really pleasing is seeing how the global community has really embraced Project Blue and how it has propagated all across the world. So folks, that's it from me. I'm signing out. You have a great weekend. Thank you for joining me on Sentosa Island in the wonderful city of Singapore. Thank you, folks. Have a great weekend.
Well. If it isn't something that I didn't expect to see at the keynote for World Tour Singapore. It's the Pro Tour. Keynote speech just happened. We're going to go over the whole thing today, but I think you know what I'm most excited about. Welcome on in, my Ashwings, to a fantastic recap of the Singapore keynote summary that we're going to go over here today. We're going to go over the article, talk about what was said, some of the spoilers that we get to see for Super Slam. Cosplayers get a huge buff this time around, and I'm excited always. Anytime there's new news in regards to Flesh and Blood, I'm really stoked. And obviously, with the clip you had just seen there at the end of the keynote, we've got a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we've got the ever so wonderful Rachel Stoddard, who is Max Ferocity online. Sorry, I realized my camera wasn't up here. So with Rachel being here now, if you don't know, Rachel was a local of mine when I was back out in Illinois, and she's absolutely amazing at what she does. Obviously, she takes cosplay to an entirely different level. Always excited to see what she's got in store, and I know she's been teasing her Pleiades cosplay for a while now. So I'm very excited to see it in the flesh here. It looks so cool. I love that like LSS helps these cosplayers kind of make these dreams come true and essentially make them a mascot for a set. And there are so many amazing cosplayers in the community of Flesh and Blood that I just, it's always great. It's always great to see. So with this being said, we are moving into a lot of stuff that was spoiled for the keynote summary. I kind of just wanted to go over a little bit of what was talked about in a brief way, and then go over some spoilers and also talk a little bit about what that Silver Age thing might be. So obviously kicked off here and let us know the next Pro Tour is going to be in Yokohama. We know that the Pro Tour changes every single year, much like how the World Championship does. So with the Pro Tour, this Pro Tour is going to be taking place in Yokohama, which is in the APAC region. I believe it's in Japan. So the Pro Quest for Yokohama is going to be on October 4th through November 9th of this year. So towards the end, kind of right near Worlds, we are going to be seeing Pro Quest Yokohama occurring. And of course, that means in April 9th through the 12th in 2026, they're going over to Yokohama for the actual Pro Tour. So this is where we're going to be able to get some good stuff. And notably, these are Pro Quests, so these are available for everybody. And the cool thing here is that Swing Big and Overcrowded, apparently two of the prominent Majestics in a set, are actually going to be promos for the Pro Quest here. So I believe Overcrowded is probably going to go to the winner, and then Swing Big is going to be available for maybe the top 4. Maybe it's a participation prize, but Swing Big is a very, very good Brute card. I mean, it's a Brute card it was only printed in Everfest, and now it's got new art in an extended art rainbow foil version of itself. But Overcrowded is also really cool too, because we see the ambush text come back, and notably it says when this attacks or defends, it gets +1 and +1, so +1 attack and +1 defense for each different named aura among tokens in the arena. So this is kind of insane, and it was noted by James White in the keynote that he said he sees the people who are upset about the pure power level of Codex of Frailty. And so Overcrowded is an answer to it. There's a direct answer now being printed. It's in Heavy Hitters, so it's going to be in there, I think, but or not Heavy Hitters, I'm sorry. It's going to be in Super Slam. But Overcrowded here is pretty cool because effectively it means that since you're going to get a Frailty, your opponent's going to get a Ponder. That's 2 tokens with different names on the board outside of any other tokens that might exist. And that means this blocks for 4. So when your opponent gets a Endless Arrow, or they get a Leave No Witnesses with their Codex of Frailty and attack you with it, you can make sure that you choose this Overcrowded instead, and you can block with it from your banish zone because it has ambush, or from your arsenal. I'm sorry, you can banish it from you can block with it from your arsenal because of that ambush key text. So very, very cool stuff to see. So on top of all of this, we do also have some new products, or at least the product kind of pipeline for what we're looking at here. Those Armory Deck Legends are going to be a convention exclusive at Gen Con. Mastery Pack Guardian and Demo Deck Bravo are also going to be on August 8th. I believe that is also the same day as Gen Con. Smash Palace, August 29th. These are more things for folks to get their hands on the UPF board game style kind of thing for Flesh and Blood. So very cool to see that coming out in August 29th. Armory Deck Pleiades is going, or Pleiades is coming out in September 19th, which is on pre-release day for Super Slam. So keep that in mind if you wanted to go check that out. And then, of course, Super Slam finally releases the week after that on September 26th. But there are new cards. We now know more of what I expected to see from this entire set. So with Toughness, I know that was one of the tokens that we were expecting to learn a little bit more of. Toughness, you can see here that it says at the start of your opponent's turn, destroy this. Then the next action card you defend with this turn gets +1 this chain link. So this is for any action card, not just attack actions or non-attack actions. It's any action card, which means that Toughness, now everybody who can make a Toughness token is essentially an embodiment of Earth. Which is pretty cool because notably it'll also say the next action card you defend with. So it's not so much that it happens with the entirety of the chain. So it's not as good as Embodiment of Earth, but it does notably say that, you know, if your opponent is trying to come in for 8 and you have 3 Toughness tokens and they don't have Go Again on that attack, you can have 1 attack block for 6, which is still pretty good, especially when you consider all the different crush effects that Guardians are going to come into and the high power that is Guardian and Brute attacks. Toughness can be pretty effective as a way to combat that in the limited format. Confidence, on the other hand, though, is at the start of your turn, destroy this, then the next attack action you play this turn can't be defended by more than 2 non-block cards. So it effectively gives your opponent gives your next attack action some sort of, it's almost like Overpower, it's almost like Dominate, but it can't be blocked by more than 2 non-block cards. So you can't block with 2 pieces of equipment. You can't block with 2 actions, or more than 2. You can block with 2 non-attack actions. You can block with 2 pieces of equipment, or a mix of both. But you can't block with 3. You can't block with 4. So it's effectively a way to just say it's too powerful of an attack. You can only block this much. Go for it. We also found out what Suspense does. Notably, this is a card for a Guardian instant, and it is not specific towards Pleiades, even though she's on the card, but technically it's just a Guardian aura. It says Suspense, and this is what the keyword is this enters the arena with 2 suspense counters. At the start of your turn, remove a suspense counter from it. When it has none, destroy it. And then when this enters or leaves the arena, you draw a card. So it's kind of cool. It is a Guardian instant aura. So we have instant auras more in Guardian here. You can pay 2 resources, get it onto the field. You draw a card, which is pretty cool. And then notably, you have something with Suspense, I believe, and we'll see more of what this plays out like in this card down here. But it's kind of cool to see these like timed auras. You know, you're able to add or remove counters to these auras to make it so they stay around a little bit longer. Because there's some benefit to having a few out. Outside Interference, though, this is a pretty fun card, and I don't think this got as much hype as I thought it did when I initially saw it, but you discard this, And then you may reveal a reviled attack action from your inventory and put it into your hand. So this is an instant speed discard. Blue 6, notably. So again, this is more of that cheating stuff that KO is going to do here, because it is a reviled brute action. So only KO, underhanded cheat, is going to be playing this card. But this is kind of crazy because it's a tutor, notably, and it lets you find whatever you need. It discards a 6, so it turns on any other effect that you might have, such as Mandible Claw or something of the sort. And it's just like pretty insane, actually. I think this is a pretty cool card. But notably, in the Armory deck, there is Standing Ovation. Standing Ovation here says that if you can pay 6 resources, and it's an 8 power attack, 3 block blue. But more notably, it is a Revered Guardian action, so only Pleiades is going to be able to use it. But if 3 or more auras of suspense have left the arena this turn, this gets, when this hits a hero, take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of the next end phase, they draw up to their intellect. We have time walks. We have taken extra turns in Guardian now, which is pretty cool because it effectively just means, hey, you were able to make this happen. You went through all of these side quests to make something like this happen. You get your extra turn. So there's going to be a benefit to adding and removing suspense counters from your auras. So that way you are able to kind of have them all pop at the same time. You're able to do, obviously when this leaves the arena, you draw a card. I'm sure if you get multiple of these that have other effects like +2 to your attack or give your attack dominate or something of the sort, this is going to pop significantly. Also notably, Confidence is a token aura that pops at the beginning of the turn also. So even if you have 2 Confidence tokens and a palm in your hand, that is 3 or more auras of suspense. I lied. It's not Confidence. So it's whatever these suspense ones. Suspense ones are the ones that have to leave the arena at the same time in order for this to activate. So very important there. Pleiades is able to move counters on suspense auras, so it is going to be pretty easy for her to manipulate that. Moving into Super Slam then, new pre-release kit box. Of course, we've talked about this previously, but we do see some more cards here. Just some little promo cards here, effectively. We can kind of go into those a little bit more, but I think these are just going to be more of those like cold foil super rares that are in the set from the here's something for everybody kind of aspect. This is the armor that we're getting. It's all cold foil extended art armor, micro text box armor, which is really, really cool. And then notably, of course, you get the tokens. You get all the small tokens to flip for your token auras. And then, of course, you have the heroes, Pleiades on one end, Tough Knot on the other, and then I'm sure KO on one hand and Lyeth on the other. So pretty cool to see that this is what comes with here. It's obviously going to come with your packs as well. So you get this, your packs. It doesn't tell us that there's any dice or anything in here, so there might not be any like small knickknacks, but of course, I'll just have to wait until we buy one, and then we get to see from there. Cosplay. Now, this is pretty cool. Our talented community cosplayers are well acquainted with the special promo Taylor. This diligent shapeshifter has served for many years as a surprise for those who grace the stage, but her time has finally come to retire. The last chance to get a Taylor will be at the Super Slam World Premiere in Montreal, but who will be taking her place as the iconic wardrobe wonder? Frankie. We have a new necromancer on the board here. Frankie Make Ends Meet is a necromancer hero young. So now there's a new necromancer. They're a young hero, so obviously only able to be played in these young hero formats. We don't know what she does. So right now, all we know is that she's a necromancer. She's super cool looking. I love the concept of the giant scissors. I know that's been like a very big anime trope for a little while, is giant scissors. I know like League of Legends has a hero for it. I know there's a whole, Kill la Kill is a whole big thing with these scissors. Like, it's pretty cool. But to see it here, it really is kind of a fun thing because, again, it's, based on the creation of the works that the cosplayers do. I also like Make Ends Meet is also really funny just because it's like, I don't know. I love a play on words. So very cool hero. I like the fact it's kind of like a stitched together thing. And Frankie, I mean, like Frankenstein kind of deal. So pretty fun. So I like that. Moving on here, we have a content creator thing. So actually, this is another thing I am very excited about. The content creator grant program. So content creators are an important part of Flesh and Blood ecosystem, and Legend Story Studios believes it's empowering creators who are building the future of our industry. Introducing the Content Creator Grant Program, designed to support passionate, driven individuals and or teams in elevating the quality, reach, and impact of their content. So what this is a grant that effectively says that, you know, if you're chosen, 5 creators are going to be chosen, and they'll receive up to $5,000 to upgrade their content, which would certainly help me out a lot considering the lighting in here is garbage. My camera is just kind of okay, but I prefer like a green screen area. And then, of course, I'd like to get more equipment to be able to do some top-down, Commoner and Project Blue, quote unquote, things moving forward. I do really think that something like this would assist a lot. And I love seeing that they're reaching out to people for these grants because they want to upgrade their content creation game. I know a lot of people, including myself, just based off of convenience, really just utilize Talishar as the thing that they want to do. If I could cut Talishar out of any of my videos, I will, just because it is something that I don't like to do constantly. So I think really what it comes down to is money like this would allow me to make those changes. So pretty cool. They'll begin selecting content creators to apply in August. And then, of course, if this is something that continues to grow the community and they want more content creators to have these, they will, of course, continue to reach out for more grants such as this. And of course, it'll be based on demonstrated commitment to fab content creation, potential for growth and impact, creativity and originality, and then contribution to the Flesh and Blood community. So you're able to hit all of these things here. We'd love to see it. Project Blue. Now, this is very interesting because a lot of people were expecting that this here, the thing that we saw, that thing in the beginning of the keynote here, that this was going to be a new set that was going to come out. But let's read into it here. Community has been immensely enjoying testing the new Project Blue format, a budget-friendly way to play Flesh and Blood with young heroes, commons and rares only, and a precise ban list. Project Blue is still in the development phase, but fans all over the world are still asking, what is it? The answer is coming in 2026. This is Icelander. I'm not sure if you are aware of who that is, but Icelander is a very, very loved hero in the Flesh and Blood space. And seeing her here in an old art of her allows me to believe that effectively what this is the renaming of Project Blue to Silver Age. I do think that Silver Age is pretty awesome because, again, you have like commoner bronze level stuff, Silver Age, and then you have like the Golden Age of like Classic Constructed and all that stuff, and then you have the Living Legend. So if this is what they are renaming Project Blue to as Silver Age, awesome. But more notably, this confirms my own suspicions, as well as everybody else's, in regards to, is Project Blue going to get pushed to even further heights? This, again, is just more fuel for me to continue to make Project Blue content, continue to make these cool decks where people can play around at a budget level and really enjoy the theming of these heroes. And I feel like this is going to be something that is going to truly push the boundaries of game spaces for LGSs to really bring forward a lot of the love for these budget formats that I have to many other people as well. So with that being said, this is just super cool. There was a lot of awesome stuff at the keynote. I'm excited to watch Flesh and Blood all weekend and hang out with everybody and just like talk about Flesh and Blood, just be built into this community. It's so amazing to be a part of this. And as somebody who covers a lot of these budget formats such as Commoner and Project Blue, I'm happy to continue to deliver that for all of you because I love it. I hope you love it. And, we've got a whole Discord community. I don't know if I have even mentioned this in previous videos. I have a Discord for our community. If you want to join that, you can join that in the description below. We do also, of course, I appreciate any channel members that join for this too. It's always great to have everybody there. And I really appreciate everything that you all do here if you're a channel member for us here. But even if you're just subscribed or you're hovering over that button right now to subscribe to the channel, thank you so much. Feel free to also like the video if you enjoyed this little breakdown of the Pro Tour keynote for Singapore. And I'm just going to keep doing what everybody does and continue to have fun in the flesh and blood. And I hope you all do too. So take care, and we'll see you all in our next video.